Hello and welcome to day 11 of our 12-day Yoga for Athletes challenge. For our active yoga session today, we're going to be exploring the aspects of yoga beyond just the physical practice. So we will be focusing less on how we move our body or what parts of body we are working, and turn our attention more to how yoga feels in our body and also how it can affect us mentally and perhaps emotionally too. And so we will be doing a lot more moving from one pose to the next in this session. So don't worry about whether you're doing it right or whether you're keeping up. Today is just about moving your body. And that's because the ultimate aim for today is to transform our yoga practice into a form of mindful movement meditation, so that the only thing we have to do for the next 30 minutes is just to be here, moving and breathing, where we are present in the moment. And when we are present in the moment, we are giving our attention to all that is happening right now and nothing else. So to set us up with the right mindset, we will also set an intention for our practice, a sankalpa, just like we did in our meditation practice on day 10. We will do this as part of our settling in. As usual, find some space so you can move around freely. Have some blocks and a blanket available for some extra support, but you do not have to have these. And then let's get started. So we're going to begin with some settling in. And for this, I invite you to come into a child's pose, but you are more than welcome to choose whatever position best suits you and your body today. If you are coming into a child's pose, I'm going to show you a couple of ways in which you might want to support yourself to make it a little bit more comfortable. So grab your blanket and you're going to roll it up like so. And then you can either place it between the torso and your thighs here to help support you as you come forward into your child's pose. The other option is to place the blanket behind the knees, and then you can also have a blanket underneath the legs if you want some extra cushioning for the knees. So come to the back of your mat. We're going to bring the torso and the head down to the mat, so grab a block spot in case you want to have that for your head. Taking your hands forward, bringing the torso down towards the thighs and the mat, and then just let your head be heavy now, and if it can come down to the mat, then that's great. If not, then grab a block or some books to support you here. And then just allow yourself to arrive here now into your body and into your breath. Use the breath as an anchor to tether you to the present moment. And whilst you're spending time with your breath, I will explain how we will be working with an intention for our practice today. So our theme for this week is about intention. And on day 10, we use our meditation to set our own intention. So you're welcome to work with your own intention throughout this practice today. Or you're welcome to use the intention which I offer up to you now. And this intention is all about remaining present in the moment. And so the intention, the sankalpa, that I offer you is, I am present here now in mind and body. And like on day 10, you may like to distill this down to one word. That word could be present, or it could be now, And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly start to bring ourselves upright out of our child's pose. And then we're going to come onto all fours into a tabletop position. So set your props aside. And then we're just going to warm up the spine, linking breath with movement again. Inhale, we're going to drop the belly, coming into our cow. Exhale, rounding the back up towards the sky, coming into our cat. Drop the head here if we need to. And then just moving between the two. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 2 more times. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then come to a tabletop position. Adjust the hands as you need. We're going to come into a downward dog now. So tucking the toes under, lifting the knees, and then sending the hips up and back, coming into our downward dog, our upside down V shape. So adjust the feet as you need, maybe pedaling out one leg at a time, bending one, then the other, getting the body used to this shape. Again, noticing how it feels in the body. So hopefully getting some nice lengthening in the legs as well as the spine. Maybe let the head be heavy here so you get the nice stretch along the back of the neck as well. And then when you're ready, slowly start to walk the feet up towards the hands at the top of the mat. Hanging out here a moment in your forward fold, enjoying that length in the spine, the back of your neck. You can even grab opposite elbows here. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly start to roll up. So release the hands, bending the knees if you need to. Slowly pushing through the feet to give you that leverage. Inhale, we're going to slowly start to roll up. Vertebra by vertebra, maybe tracing the fingertips along the front of the body. Leaving the head till last until you come to stand in your mountain pose. Okay, so we're going to do a sequence of poses now, linking breath with movement, flowing from one to the other, but we're going to slowly build up the sequence so you get a little bit of time to get used to it. And we'll also be repeating it again so that you get used to it and you can just focus on moving the body rather than what pose is coming up next. And if you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. As long as you're moving, then you're doing what you need to do. Okay, so finding your steady mountain pose. So being steady on your feet, linking breath with movement. We're going to inhale, taking the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinging forward at the waist, coming into a forward fold, bending the knees if you need to. You can also grab the blocks here. Inhale, coming into a half lift, hands to the blocks or to the shins. Exhale, release yourself back down. Inhale, coming all the way up into our mountain pose again. And then exhale, release. We'll keep doing that a couple of times now. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, into half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, arms down by your side. Okay, just take a moment to just pause, reflect, notice how it feels. Maybe remind yourself of your mantra. Be here, now, present. And then we'll add a bit more onto that. So inhale, taking the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale into half lift. This time, exhale, hands down to the mat, step back with your right foot into a lunge. And then you're just going to drop that back knee down. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Inhale, come up into a crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down to the mat. And then you're going to step that front foot to meet the other knee and push yourself back into a child's pose. Look to the top of the mat. You're going to snake the body all the way along the mat to come to lie on your front. And then on your inhale, come up into a cobra, just a small one to begin with maybe. Exhale, release yourself back down, tuck the toes under, push yourself up into a downward dog via a tabletop if you need to. Take a moment to just pause here. And then when you're ready, slowly walk the feet up towards the hands, being curious with every step. There's no rush. Rooting down through the feet. Inhale, taking the arms out and up overhead. And then exhale, release. And we'll just do the same on the other side again. So inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, into half lift. Exhale, hands down to mat. This time step back with your left foot, coming into a lunge. Drop that back knee down. Inhale, come up into your crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Inhale, bring the foot back. Exhale, push back into a child's pose. Inhale, snake your way along the mat and up into a cobra. Exhale, release yourself down, tucking the toes under, push yourself up into a downward dog via tabletop if you need to. Take a moment to pause here. Then when you're ready, slowly walk the feet up towards the hands. Come to the top of your mat, grounding through the feet. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. And then exhale, arms down by your side. Okay, take a moment now to maybe just pause. Notice how the mind and body are feeling. Are you staying present? Remind yourself of your sankalpa. And then when you're ready, we'll add a little bit more onto that now. And we're going to repeat the sequence a couple of times. So like I said, don't worry if you don't get it. Just concentrate on moving the body and breathing as you go along. Okay. Arms down by your side. Inhale, we're going to take the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, into half lift. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step back with your right foot. Okay. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, come up into your crescent lunge. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Okay, this time this is where we deviate. I'll add a little bit more onto our sequence. So you're going to tuck the back toe under, lift the back knee so that you can ground that back heel. We're going to come into warrior two. So use the arms to cartwheel the arms up, bring the torso up. We're now in our warrior two pose. And then we're going to do some flying warriors, which basically means we're just going to bend and straighten the legs, coordinating with the arms if you want to. So on your inhale, straighten the legs, arms up overhead. Exhale, rebend back into warrior two. Two more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, rebend that front leg. Okay, this time we're going to keep the legs in our warrior two stance, but we're going to move just the upper body. We're going to catch the wind. So inhale, actually first flip the front palm up, and then on your inhale, you're going to tip back into peaceful warrior. Then on your exhale, come forward, front forearm to front thigh, arm up to the sky or overhead, coming into extended side angle. And then using the breath, moving between the two. Inhale, tip back into peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. And then we'll just hold it here for a breath or two, taking this opportunity to remind ourselves of our sankalpa. Maybe a 1 or 2 word mantra. Be here now. Or just now. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Release that back heel so that you can do that. And then you're just going to drop that back knee down. I'm going to bring a little more movement again. So grab a block as well if you need to bring yourself upright a bit more. It just gives you a bit more space in the body. You don't have to use the block, but it does help. And then bringing your left hand to your heart space. Inhale, stay where you are. And then exhale, you're going to open the hand out, coming into a rotational twist out towards the left. And then linking breath with movement. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist out to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, open out. One more time. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, open out. Come back to center, remove the blocks out of the way, and then we'll come back to our original sequence. So bringing that leg back and pushing yourself back into your child's pose, snaking the body along the mat to come up into a little cobra. Exhale, release yourself back down and then push yourself up into a downward dog via a tabletop if you need to. Take a moment to pause here. Now you've got the option of walking just like we did before, or you can step to the top of the mat. So it doesn't matter which foot, just stepping one foot, pick it up if you need to, and then the other, rooting down through the feet. Inhale, taking the arms out and up overhead. Then exhale, arms down by your side. And then we're just going to repeat the same sequence, but on the other side now. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, into half lift. Exhale, hands down to that step back with your left foot this time. Ground that back heel down. Inhale, come up into crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down to the mat. This time, tuck the back toe under, lift the back knee, ground that back heel. We're going to cartwheel the arms up, coming up into warrior two on the other side now. So we're going to do some flying warriors to begin with. Inhale, straighten the legs, arms up overhead. Exhale, back into warrior two. 2 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, rebend. Keeping your legs in your warrior two stance. We're going to catch the wind now. So flip the front palm up. Inhale, tip back into peaceful warrior. Exhale, tip forward into extended side angle. 2 more times. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Last time. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. And this time we're going to hold it here. Hold it here for a breath. Remind yourself of your intention to be present. I am here now. And then when you're ready, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Release that back heel to allow you to do that. And then ground that back knee down. Grab a block if you need it to create a little bit more space in the body. You do not have to. So if you don't use the block, this is just what it's going to look like. Inhale, bring the hand to your heart space. And then exhale, opening out to the side, coming into a twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, opening out. 2 more times. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, opening out. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, opening out. And then come back to center. Hands down to frame the front foot. Bring that back knee back. Push yourself back into child's pose. Snake your way along the mat to come up into cobra. Release yourself back down and then push yourself up into a downward dog via tabletop, or maybe this time come up via a push-up. Choose what works for you. And again, your choice. You can either walk or step to the top of the mat. It doesn't matter which foot. Reaching down through the feet. Inhale, arms out and up. And then exhale, arms down by your side. Okay, let's do that one more time. Linking breath with movement. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, into half lift. Exhale, hands down to that step back with your right foot. Ground that back knee down. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Lift the back knee, ground the back heel, and cartwheel the arms up into warrior two. Okay, inhale, straighten. Exhale, rebend. We're doing a flying warriors. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, rebend. Flip the front palm up. Inhale, tip back into peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. And then this time we're going to bring the hands down to the mat straight away. Drop that back knee. We're going to do our opening outs. The hand to the chest. Inhale, and then exhale, open out to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale out. Inhale back to center and exhale out. Come back to center, hands back down to the mat, bringing the knee back so you can push yourself back into child's pose. Snake your way along the mat. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, release, and then push yourself up into a downward dog via tabletop if you need to. And then come to the top of the mat, either walk or step. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, arms down by your side. One last time on the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down to mat. This time step back with the left leg, knee down. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Ground that back heel. Cartwheel up into warrior two. Our flying warriors now. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, rebend. Peaceful warrior next. Flip the front palm. Inhale, tip back into peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, tip back. Exhale, forward into extended side angle. One more time. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. And then this time bring the hands down straight away to frame the front foot. Back knee down, grab a block if you need it. Inhale, right hand to right heart, through the heart I mean. Exhale, open out. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, open out to the right. One last time. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, open to the right. Hands back down to the mat. Bring that knee back. Push back into child's pose. Snake your way along to come up into cobra. Exhale, release. And then push yourself up into downward dog. And then just release the knees down to the mat now and just push yourself back into child's pose. And you can rest here now as a grab a block if you want for your head. And just take a moment now to just notice how the mind and body are feeling. Absorb the effects of your practice now. And start to bring the body back down into the parasympathetic state. So we've done a lot of movement, a lot of breathing. Okay, and then just draw the hands over to the left side, getting a nice stretch along the right side of the body. Crawl the hands back through center and then over to the other side. Come back to center, and then we're going to come into a twist. So what we're going to do is we're going to thread the right arm underneath the body and then grab your blocks here, because we're going to aim to have a head and shoulder either supported by the mat, or if it doesn't reach the mat, then this is where your blocks can come in handy. So one for the shoulder if it doesn't come down to the mat, and the other one for your head. And we're just going to hold it here for a couple of breaths, and then use the breath to release any tension that you might still feel in the body, and of course using the breath to help you stay present. Okay, come back to center, unthread the arm, and then we'll do the other side. So threading the left arm underneath the body, and then either bring it to the blocks or the mat. This time I'll show you if you bring it to the mat. So bringing the left shoulder and left head to the mat, and just as you need. And this hand can be wherever is needed to help support you in this twisted pose. I'll thread the needle. And then, like before, breathe into the areas of tightness. Perhaps you're feeling it in the shoulder, perhaps it's in the spine. And as always, there's no forcing, particularly now as we're bringing the body back into the parasympathetic state. Okay. When you're ready, unthread the arm, come back to center. Maybe coming one last time into your child's pose just to reset. And then we'll come into our final resting pose now, our Sivasana. So grab anything you might want to help you feel comfortable. So maybe you want the blanket on top of you, maybe grab some extra layers. And then we're just going to come down to lie down fully on our back now. Legs apart, palms up. And just allow yourself to soak in the effects of your practice now. And also just allow yourself this time, this last opportunity to just be present. Maybe repeating your sankalpa or your 1-word or 2-word mantra now. So be here now. I am here now. Now. It can be very tempting to just skip this part, but this is your chance to transition from the work, to come back to baseline, to a restful state. So you are more than welcome to spend longer in your Shavasana. In fact, 10 minutes is ideal. But of course, sometimes we have to move on with our day. So if you're ready to do that, start to come back to your senses, so noticing what you can hear or what you can feel. And then maybe invite a little movement back into the body. Maybe starting with the fingers and the toes, and then starting to take bigger movements and do whatever feels good now to reawaken the body. Maybe coming to one side and curling up in a fetus position. And then whenever you're ready, moving slowly, start to bring yourself out of your Shavasana. And then we'll just spend a moment to close out our practice. So you can either bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, or you can place them on the body. Just taking a moment now to just honor and acknowledge the effects of your practice. Maybe bring to mind one more time your sankalpa, or the one that I offered you today, which was, I am here now. And then seal it in so that you may take it off the mat into your everyday lives to find benefit from it whenever you need. And then whenever you're ready, you can flutter the eyes open, and then you can move on with your day. Thanks for joining me for day 11 of the Yoga for Athletes challenge. This was our last active yoga session. We have just one more session left. That is our day 12, which is our yin yoga practice. So be sure to join me then for our final day of our Yoga for Athletes challenge. As always, I'd love to connect with you, so please do leave any comments or feedback that you have. Find me on social media or join the Facebook group. I hope to see you back here again on day 12.